Let's talk to Shawne Merriman, the former Pro Bowl and All-Pro linebacker. Make sure you check out Lights Out Sports, free sports TV by athletes for fans, founded by former NFL All-Pro Shawne Merriman. Lights Out Sports is a new free TV streaming service showcasing exciting sports action from around the world. Download and watch sports channels, live events, movies, and TV shows all for free. Shawne, appreciate the time. Thanks so much again. How are you, my man?
I'm doing well, my man. How are you?
Well, doing fantastic. Appreciate you jumping on board with us. What did you make? Let me start you off with the Chargers before we get out to the Lights Out Extreme Fighting. What did you make of their draft early? They took Joe Alt, the offensive lineman out of Notre Dame, and then the second round traded up to go get Ladd McConkey out of Georgia.
I was shocked, to be honest, like everybody else. And I was not of the pick. I was shocked that the wide receiver was a conversation all the way up until a couple days before the draft, right? We all knew that Marvin Harrison Jr. was going to probably end up with the Cardinals. And the second guy en route was Malik Neighbors. In fact, Malik took his visit out there and was posting on his own social media about looking at houses in L.A. And so I think that maybe even he thought that he was going to be the draft pick. And if you look at his press conference, I'm a body language reader, and it didn't seem like he was thrilled about being with the Giants. I could be wrong in that. But if you go back and look at Jim Harbaugh and what he's establishing right now, it made complete sense, right? He went out and got two running backs, got Gus and got J.K. Dobbins. He beefed up some parts of the defensive lineman, and he's really just setting the tone. He's sending a message to the AFC West. We're going to run the football. We're going to protect Justin Herbert. We're going to stop the run. And what he's doing is he's establishing an identity that hasn't been there in quite some time. So at first, it didn't make any sense. And then I sat back and looked at what he's building, and it made complete sense. This is a total Jim Harbaugh pick.
It's kind of funny, Shawne Merriman, because when we first started talking about the draft, I'm like, all right, seeing the way that Harbaugh built Michigan, it was running the ball, it was great offensive lines year after year after year. I'm like, maybe they'll take an offensive lineman. But then everyone was talking about wide receivers, including yours truly, and I thought, like you, it was going to be a wide receiver. And I had Joe Alt on the day before the draft, and I asked him about the Chargers, because a lot of people thought he was going to go to Tennessee, and he's like, I didn't even have a top 30 visit with them. So maybe this was like the gamesmanship that goes on where you make everyone think one thing and you kind of hide the pick because you were fearful someone else was going to try to get in front of you to take away Joe Alt.
Oh, look, there's no doubt about that. There was a chess match playing behind closed doors. In fact, I mean, the amount of times that Jim Harbaugh has brought up the greatness and how good J.J. McCarthy was, I almost thought that he was trying to get one of these guys to move up in the top 3 or 4, and maybe he was going to go try to get Marvin Harrison Jr., right? I mean, there was a lot of games playing behind the scenes. But if you really look at what he's trying to establish and what he did at Michigan, like you said, they ran a football, and look at the big plays that was created down the field when he was running the football at Michigan. Most of his 30-plus yard plays were because they were so effective in the run game. Well, what do we know that Justin Herbert can do? Justin Herbert can sling it down the field. And so if you're running the football effectively, you're getting these pass rushes, which they got plenty of them they got to deal with, including Max Crosby in that division. Every pass rusher's nemesis is someone who's capable of running the football, because you can't pin your ears back and go. That's when those big plays hit downfield. So I sat back after that draft pick and I said, that made complete sense for the mentality that they're trying to establish with the Chargers now.
How much of an impact do you think Harbaugh will bring in year one on the field? Clearly, he's 10 times better of a head coach than Brandon Staley is. We know that. But right now in the AFC West and all of football, it's the Chiefs and it's everybody else. But the Chargers and their future is so important, because I don't trust the Broncos. I don't trust the Raiders. Like, the Chargers have the quarterback. They have the coach. They need to find a way to close the gap in the AFC West to give us all, the rest of us, any sort of resemblance of hope. So it's not like Brady and Belichick and no one else in the AFC East as it was for all those years. So year one, what do you kind of expect? We're starting to see what this team's going to look like, at least, and having enough on paper from the Los Angeles Chargers.
I don't think you have to wait till the season to see what he's capable of doing. When is the last time we've seen a strength and conditioning coach do press conferences when he came in? We haven't seen it, right? I mean, seriously, we haven't seen it. And so they're establishing day one on who they want to be before the season even starts. And look, we don't know what Jim Harbaugh's going to do during the season. We don't know if they're going to win 10 games, 12 plus games. We have no idea. But we do know is because of Jim Harbaugh's history that he's come into organizations that are far less talented, in programs that are far less talented than the Chargers have, and turned them around. So we know that they're going to be a better team. We know that they're going to have identity. Going to the game, I went to every home game last year and some of the away games. I'm watching the games and I'm like, who in the hell, who's going to show up today? Are they a physical team? Are they a speed team? Do they play great? You had no idea who they were because they had no identity. And so the identity with these guys now is that you bring in two running backs. You got two capable running backs that get your 1-2 punch back there. They're going to pound the football. They're going to protect Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is not going to get attacked as he was this past year and risk injury. They're going to stop the run, and everything else builds off of that. And this is why I love that the most, because we all know what the NFL has become now. It's become a pass-happy, big quarterback franchise league, and it got away from the running game. They got to devaluing running backs. But guess what? That run game sets up everything. It is so frustrating as a pass rusher. It's so frustrating and demoralizing for a defense, for a team that can run the football. Once that happens, now everything opens up. This is always been the key to winning football games. And over the last several years, it's become this quarterback-friendly, pass-happy league that is not going to take you very far unless you got a pass from Mahomes. That's it.
And you bring up, having that Patrick Mahomes and a guy, right, that you really believe in, and especially in the AFC. You can't just have a good guy. You have to have a great guy. Shawne Merriman's here with us for a few more minutes. I'll stay inside division. The biggest shock of the draft, obviously, was Penix going 8 with the Kirk Cousins, move that they did this offseason. But if you would have told me Denver, 2 weeks ago before the draft would have been taking Bo Nix at 12, I would have never believed it because I just think Bo Nix is a guy that could have a ceiling of good. I don't think he has a ceiling of greatness. When you saw the Bo Nix pick, what was that initial reaction?
It wasn't even a pick. It was a follow-up question that Sean Payton compared Bo Nix to what he's seen with Patrick Mahomes coming out of college. That is more shocking than anything. You got to have a franchise quarterback in this league. You can't win without one. I just talked about how important they've made the quarterback position and being able to pass the football and being able to put up points. Everybody's going to get their guy for the next 5 or 10 years. So they had no choice, I believe, in going to get Bo Nix or somebody like a Bo Nix. With that being said, you need more help than that, buddy. They have so many holes to fix, and to move up to do what they did with Bo Nix. And this is no shot at Bo Nix at all. I think he's going to be a hell of a player. I don't think he's going to move the needle stepping on the field. He's going to be a guy that has to work into that position. He's going to have to be a guy to build up. I don't think he instantly makes them better. And that's where they're going to have the problem with, because we know in this league, you don't win, which they didn't win last year. They had high expectations of Sean Payton coming in there. If you don't win in the next year or two, Sean Payton could not be there. He may not be there. And that's just the way the NFL works.
And here's the part. Like, I don't think Bo Nix is great. I understand taking a quarterback, but it felt like they didn't have to take a quarterback this year because, as you're saying, they have to build that roster. Like, outside of Patrick Surtain, there's not a lot of players that you look in that roster and say, I have to have if I'm another team and I have to covet. And I just wonder, because Nix is going to play. He should start day one. Like, who are you going to throw in next year? Zach Wilson week 1? Like, give me a break. And I just fear that they're going to ruin him before he really even gets a chance.
I think you're right. And I hate the fact that happened. I'm totally against teams throwing young quarterbacks in the fire when they're not ready, right? I hate the fact that the organizations have moved away from development players. I hate it. And I really hate it when you got a guy who I don't think is capable and ready just yet. He may be the guy down the road, but you got to go out and get you a veteran to go out and start week 1. Go ahead and let Zach Wilson back whoever up. Go get you a pass rusher. If we all know that if you're playing in the division with franchise quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, which they are in the AFC West, go and get you a pass rusher that can put some pressure on the guys, go out and make some plays for you, and live and die what you have in the open market, that quarterback position. Bring Zach Wilson in. He can step in and provide something if the starting quarterback didn't happen. but you're setting yourself up to not be good for the next 2 or 3 years, and you may not be there. Those type of things, when they bring you in as high to pay you as much money as they have, they want immediate change. They want to compete immediately. I don't know if they can compete immediately with Bo Nix, and he may be the guy down the road. I just don't think he's a franchise player to come in and change what they're doing right now.
Yeah, and you got Jarrett Stidham there, you got Zach Wilson. He's going to beat them out. He's ready enough to go in and play. Just that, the lack of weapons really do concern me there, and I don't think anyone could go there and have success instantly in year one. All right, Shawne Merriman, before we let you run, tell me what we got cooking up with the extension, the new venture here with Lights Out Extreme Fighting.
Yeah, we got Lights Out Sports, my free multi-sports platform. Now we're available on all major platforms. Roku, I think I've seen it pop up the other day on Apple TV. We're there now. The Fire TV, Apple, Android, we're all there. More announcements. We're having 15 channels. Starting in a few weeks, with speed vision, motorsports, outdoor fishing, hunting, outdoor America, billiards, darts, chess. So I wanted to create a locker room where you come to a place, a platform that's just sports, and nothing against those other streaming services. I'm still a subscriber to the other ones, but I don't go there for just sports. With Lights Out Sports TV, you can download it now, all major platforms. And now Lights Out Extreme Fighting, we got a big fight May 18th. In Long Beach, California. We'll be streaming live. We have a 5-hour show in one night, 19 fights. They'll be live on Lights Out Sports TV. So make sure you guys download that. This is incredible, and we wanted to come in and make some waves with these awesome content partners, and some people can come there and see all sports, and it is 100% free.